Hey guys, this is Anything TV here, and today I'm finally back from my break of a couple of days. Hopefully you guys are doing well. I'm back today to give you guys another manga review. This manga isn't the typical manga I review though, as it doesn't have any fighting or shonen elements. This manga is more of a romance manga. The manga that I am talking about is the Quintessential Quintuplets. The Quintessential Quintuplets is a manga centered around Futaro Usagi. Now I think I said his last name wrong, but his first name is Futaro. He's a student who's at the top of his class, and I mean only A's on all tests, quizzes, and even standardized testing. He isn't some sort of genius though. He works hard for these grades. He sacrifices friends, a social life, fun, etc. in order to study to get these high grades. He has done so well that while he is in school, he's hired to be a tutor. Futaro believes that he was hired to tutor just one bad performing student, but in fact, he was hired to tutor 5 sisters who are quintuplets. What's more is that these sisters are filthy rich, and their father doesn't seem to live with them. All these sisters come from the Nakano family, and their names are Ishika, Nino, Miku, Yosuba, and Itsuki. Now, these sisters may look the same, but they dress differently and act differently. At first, it may be confusing to identify who is who, but eventually you will be easily able to identify each character based on their looks or personalities, and you definitely will have your favorite. Now I said this is a romance manga, but so far I haven't mentioned any romance elements. Well, the romance element is that right at the beginning of the story, it is revealed that Futaro married one of these 5 sisters. And from there, the book lets you hypothesize which sister it is, and root for your own personal sister that's your favorite character, to steal Futaro's heart. Now, no spoilers about which sister was married, but I will say that although my favorite sister wasn't chosen, I'm not mad about it because the way the story wraps up, the one to be married makes perfect sense. Now, that is all you guys need to know to get into this series. Now let me tell you why you need to watch. Watch, read, same thing. Yeah, number one is because the author of this story, Negi Haruba, does such a fantastic job writing for these characters. It never seems that stuff is being forced into these characters' mouths. It always seems like something the characters would actually say or do. Also, this manga doesn't pull all the things other romance manga does. Typically in the normal romance manga, there's a bunch of scenes where there are embarrassing moments for the girls or boys in which they see each other in an inappropriate way. Now, don't get me wrong, there are 1 or 2 scenes like that in this manga, and some panels that can be a little bit dramatic with its proportions, but it does not do this often, and definitely doesn't do it as often as other romance manga, where you might see some weird stuff happen every single chapter. It's definitely not like that with this series. Another thing about this manga is that there is a major feeling of family when you're reading it. Now, this is because of the dynamic between the 5 sisters. We get arguments that actually seem like arguments siblings would have. We also get Futaro's perspective on these arguments, which also seems accurate to how an outside person would view family disputes. This manga just does so many things right, and while being a romance manga, it does so well to not be cheesy or lovey-dovey, and instead is very easy to read and very enjoyable to read. It also only took me about a day to get through most of the series because unlike series like Naruto or One Piece, it doesn't need to take over 500 chapters to tell a story. Yeah, I threw a little bit of shade in there. I recommend you buy this series wherever it's available. Make sure to buy it in order to support the industry that tells so many complex and fantastic stories, some that even get turned into an anime. I hope this manga interested you, and that if you pick it up, you find enjoyment in reading it. I plan to come out with a One Piece chapter 1001 review tomorrow, so stay tuned for that. And in the meantime, drop a like, drop a subscription, and have a fantastic day. Deuces!